One in five. One in five. That's the amount of health insurance claims get rejected in the United States. And did you know most patients don't even come forward to do the appeal process, even though the appeal process likely get accepted 40 to 60% of the time. But even with such a high chance of getting it accepted, people just don't come forward to do the process. Have you ever wondered why? Well, because in the rejection letter, it has some really weird codes like CO197 and N130. Well, bro, all the code that I know is CR7, but that's another conversation to talk about. But do you see the complication over here? And normal folks like us are expected to understand that, to research on that, and actually understand why it got rejected, so do the appeal process. Well, if you have a doctorate degree in medicine, that's a whole different case. This would probably be a cakewalk for you. But normal folks like us, this is a very huge challenge. Well, can something be done with it? Well, luckily for us, we do live in an era of hyper personalization, and we do live in an era of AI. So that's why my team and I have created a solution, and that's what we're going to talk about in this particular episode. Welcome to the Late Night AI Show, guys. So 1 month ago, I had a conversation with the retired director of a hospital. When I had that conversation, you know, guys, I had a fair share of cultural shocks within USA. But whoa, when this person has started to explain the billing system in healthcare in USA, my mind got blown. Literally, whoa, that was something. I did not expect that to be as complicated as it can be. Well, that's a separate episode itself. But through that conversation that I had with him, which is for like 1 hour, he basically took a class. I was able to understand, okay, there are so many problems out there in the building system of healthcare systems that can be solved with the current technology that we have in the era of AI. So one thing that I've understood is the insurance claims. Well, if you look at the denial letter, right, when they reject your insurance claim, they would have two types of codes. And those two types are, the first one is CARC code, and the other one is RARC code. Now, what does they mean? Well, CARC means claim adjustment reason code. Well, think of this code as the exact reason why your thing got rejected. For example, let's say CO197, right? For that code, what does that even mean? Well, CO means the person responsible for the amount. CO means contractual obligation. So in that case, the letters, the two letters before the number, is the person who is responsible for the amount. Well, what does that number mean? Well, the number means why it was adjusted. What was the reason behind this thing got rejected? So together they work. CO197. Well, for the other type of code, which is RARC, that is called remittance advice remark code. Now, I totally forgot to say about this. CARC code is maintained by X12 organization. They maintain these standardized codes, and they update them in a regular manner, so you guys can search about that organization. But anyways, so they maintain that. And for the RARC codes, this is maintained by CMS. CMS stands for Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, but it is published on X12 website. So, for example, how does these type of codes look? Well, one of the example is N130, and think of this as the supplemental code to CARC codes. So they add more details, more value to CARC codes, and together they work in a denial letter, and you can make sense of it. Finally, why it actually got denied. Okay, so this is how the codes in the denial letter works typically. And the gap between what the letter actually means and what the letter actually says, that's a real problem. And that's why we have created the solution called the DenialDecoder, where you just have to upload the PDF of the denial letter, PDF, a PNG, or even a paste plain text. It will tell you what actually the problem is, what went wrong, whom to call, and even draft an appeal letter for you. So all that is possible. So before we go through the demo, let's look deep into its architecture, shall we? So this is the good part, right? So the architecture is just very deterministic. Well, I may all these LLM wrappers, right? I don't like them, to be honest. I really do not like them. That is so 2023. So we're not going to do that, especially not in a healthcare model, all right? Because healthcare deterministic is very important. We do not want any hallucinations over there and cause catastrophical errors. That's a huge problem. So we do not want that. We avoid that. So the architecture is deterministic, because if you look at the leftmost box, right, deterministic Python controls every fact. The meaning of every code comes from a bundled data set of the official X12 and the CMS definitions. So it is being scraped from that particular website with source URLs, and retrieval dates are even recorded. The denial category, the fixability signal, whether it's fixable, appealable, or hard, it shows that. The dollar amount, the claim number, date of service, it is all extracted from your denial letter. And then what happens is if you look into the right side of the architecture, right, GPT 5.6 handles only the language, because it rewrites the official definitions into plain English for your specific situation, and it writes 4 short narrative sections for the appeal letter, which Python then inserts into a fixed template. So this is how the architecture works. And one more thing, if GPT is down by any chance or something, the app falls back to a full deterministic appeal draft. So the show still goes on. You will still get that appeal letter no matter what. And I would like to say that this particular product, it is completely created by the amazing Codex, by OpenAI. So it is completely created by that, and the API key that we use over here is GPT 5.6 Soul model, which is used to draft all these appeal letters and all that stuff, right? So we do that, and we created this particular project for the OpenAI hackathon submission. So I worked on the front-end aspect of things, and my teammate Sharanathan, who's an AI researcher at Lincoln University, created the back-end aspect of things. So So that's the main architecture for this particular product. And now let's walk through the demo. So welcome to the promotional portion of this video. Well, I do not have any sponsors or any products to sell other than myself. I am the product. Oh, well, because I'm a master student in AI at UNT. Furthermore, I'm the AI agent developer at UNT. I have built so many AI agents for UNT, whether that deals with data entering in or automatically data entering in various documents and various document creation and so many other stuff. And I've worked on so many healthcare AI products, like for example, in my latest uh, project was from my internship, which deals with accurate phoneme segmentations, and so many other projects that I have built. So I bring this various skill set with me, and I also have an experience in having my own AI startup back in India, I was one of the co-founders for it, and we generated revenue successfully and ran the startup successfully for one whole year. So I have these kind of very unique experiences with me and the amazing set of skill sets that I have. And if you think I would be that I could help you guys in your particular venture, startup, or your company, then feel free to reach out, and I would be very much eager to help you guys from this December onwards. I am looking for roles like AI engineer, data scientist, AI agent developer, and even DevRel positions too. So I'll be leaving my LinkedIn profile link in the description below. So if you want to get connected with me uh, and to talk about how I can help in your company with my experiences and skill set that I have, then do feel free to reach me out in LinkedIn, and let's talk. Here comes the DenialDecoder demo. Okay, so this is the home page. So all you have to do is click on the decode my letter button, and then, as I said before, you can either upload your denial letter as a PDF, as a plain text, or even as a PNG. That's totally possible. So choose a file and upload the denial letter that you want to decode. So this is going to be my sample letter, and all you have to do is click on decode my letter button, and voila, you can see the claim summary, who's the insurer, claim number, provider, date of service, and the denied amount, and what your denial codes even actually mean. Here you can see the denial code is 22. Now the claim may involve another payer under coordination of benefits rules, so it says about that. And for the RARC code, we have the N130. Okay, and this code means the remark directs the reader to plan documents or guidelines for possible restrictions on the service. So we have that. It talks about what actually happened, what to do next, and in a checklist kind of a format, so you can check whatever task that is done. And we have questions to ask, what were questions that needs answering. So we have that, and last we have the appeal letter. All you have to do is click on the appeal letter button, and it creates a letter for you in just seconds, and then copy that letter and do the appeal process already. So it's that simple. Isn't it awesome? So that's it for today. If you guys like my denial decoder, then do tell us, what do you guys think about this particular app? Do you have any concerns? Do you have any questions? Or do you have any suggestions to improvement? Do let me know in the comments down below, and I would be happy to look at them. And like, share, especially subscribe, because your support matters to me a lot. And I tell you from the bottom of my heart, really a lot. So subscribe, and I see you next time in the next episode of the Late Night AI Show. Have a good night.
Subscribe to the Late Night AI Show.
AI has already learned.